with the presence of formidable tycoons accompanied by their children or spouses, engaging in introductions and discussions. Boss Liu, I heard you made over 300 million in the stock market recently. You should mentor my brother. That pales in comparison. Our newly crowned tycoon from Jiangbei raked in 5 billion in just 3 days on the international futures market, astonishing financial elites worldwide. Wang, your two companies are set to list on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, right? Congratulations. Soon, you'll also be a tycoon worth 2 billion. It's merely a market value, not cash flow. It's not like you, Boss Zhou. Such remarks echoed continuously. Not only Zhang Ning, but even Gong Zili, the daughter of the Gong family, was left speechless, as though she had been introduced to a whole new realm. Lily, does your father frequently bring you to such impressive events? I feel utterly insignificant here like an ant, too timid to breathe freely, Zhang Ning said cautiously, embodying a sense of reverence. Frequent? This is the first time I've ever witnessed such grandeur. Gong Zili replied. My father instructed me beforehand that aside from Brother Chutian, we juniors are not permitted to venture too close to the venue. We should simply stand in the corner. If it weren't for Jun Fan, I fear I would never have even the opportunity to stand here in my lifetime, Lan Yuner said with a bitter smile. Come now, do not belittle yourselves. I believe that with our connections and social circles, perhaps in 3 to 5 decades, we might stand on equal footing with those here. Wu Junfan said, his eyes gleaming with aspiration as he observed the wealth and power surrounding him. Forget 3 to 5 decades. If I could achieve that before I pass away, I would consider it a life well lived. Zhang Ning declared, Lily, come quick. It's your brother Chutian and Li Hui. Zhang Ning, met. Oh, is that Wang Chun beside them? What brings him here? Gong Zili frowned. Wang Chun was undeniably a notorious playboy. All the depictions of spoiled, rich kids in television and novels could be found in him. In contrast, Li Hui and Chutian were the elite among the wealthy, possessing both capability and character. Not only him, even Song Tsong has arrived. Wow, all the top rich second-generation heirs from Jiangbei are here. Zhang Ning's ears flushed with excitement. However, Gong Zili felt no thrill. Although Song Tsong was slightly better than Wang Chun, he was still far from commendable. It was rumored that several female celebrities in the entertainment industry had suffered miscarriages due to him. Such a young master was someone Gong Zili preferred to keep her distance from. Meanwhile, Chun Mo, after obtaining the entry ticket for Gong Zishuan, entered the hotel hand in hand with her. Observing the opulent hotel and the affluent crowd around, Chun Mo's heart soared with ambition. In his previous life, he and T even qualified to work for these tycoons. Yet in this life, all the premier magnates had gathered to witness his brilliance. Zishuan, am I exceptional? Wouldn't you agree? Chun Mo turned to ask. Gong Zishuan smiled gently, caressing Chun Mo's face in all of Jiangbei. Can you truly find a man more outstanding than you? Mo Ge. Zishuan Jia. At that moment, Lan Yuner approached, her expression one of utter astonishment. Equally surprised were the wealthy heirs around her, including Gong Zili, Zhang Ning, Wu Junfan, and Chutian. Upon seeing Chun Mo, Gong Zili's face turned ashen, her fists clenched tightly. Sister, why did you bring this fraud along? She exclaimed. Chun Mo, this is no place for a swindler like you. If you have any sense, just leave. To her, it was evident that Chun Mo had slipped in using Gong Zishuan's invitation. Coupled with the past incident involving the laxative, her hatred for Chun Mo had reached its zenith. Sister, please don't pull me. I'm scared. Chun Mo mocked, mimicking a young child's voice. You. Gong Zili's face flushed with indignation, trembling with rage. You are the infamous Chun Mo? At that moment, a brash voice interjected. Chun Mo turned to see a young man, arrogant and brazen, regarding him with disdain. Do we know each other? Chun Mo furrowed his brows. Of course not. Who do you think you are to know me? The young man scoffed. I am Wang Chun. Wang Tai, the bank president, is my uncle, and Wang Zhun, the secretary, is my father. After saying this, Wang Chun dismissed Chun Mo entirely and turned to Gong Zishuan, saying, I must say, Zishuan Jia, your taste seems rather poor. How could you settle for a waste like him? If you really fancy someone dabbling in divination and the like, I can introduce you to plenty. I have a plethora of resources for young talents in fortune-telling and rituals, and it wouldn't take long for them to learn just for you. Why associate with such worthless beings? Upon hearing this, Chenmo's gaze gradually turned icy. A dragon has its reverse scale. To touch, it is to provoke its wrath. Chenmo's greatest reverse scale is none other than Gong Ziyuan. Chapter 54. Do you think you deserve it? Before Chenmo could utter a word, Gong Ziyuan's expression turned frigid as she declared, Wang Chun, if you dare speak like that again, I shall not hesitate to sever our ties. Wang Chun shrugged nonchalantly. I was merely jesting, Ziyuan. After all, Gong Ziyuan was the daughter of Gong Ming, and even her father, Wang Zhun, would prefer to avoid unnecessary conflict. Though Wang Chun was a notorious scion of privilege, he was not devoid of intelligence. He knew better than to provoke those he could not afford to offend. Once I meet the newly minted tycoon today, I will be able to disregard even your father, Gong Ming. I shall see if you dare turn against me then. Wang Chen's heart surged with fervor. This gathering was co-hosted by his uncle, Wang Tai, and Song Simon, and he was well aware of the stature of the new tycoon. This was a man poised to become a key player in the financial sphere of Jiangbei. Moreover, his attendance at the Tycoon Conference was at Wang Tai's behest, with the intention of recommending him, the heir of the Wang family, to the new tycoon, hoping that Chenmo might assist his ineffectual nephew. With that thought, Wang Chun decided to refrain from further provoking Chenmo. Kid, since Ziyuan is defending you today, I shall spare you trouble for her sake. However, I have heard that my uncle Gong is not particularly fond of you. When he arrives, I shall relish in your explanation. Wang Chun flashed a mocking grin at Chenmo, his eyes brimming with derision. Zhang Ning and Wu Junfan exchanged glances, their expressions filled with schadenfreude. What did it matter if he knew Chui Nan? He merely resolved the troubles of these elite tycoons. When a true heavyweight like Gong Ming was incensed, even Chui Nan's intervention would prove futile. Meanwhile, Gong Ziyuan silently shook her head. Not only her father, but even Wang Tai and Song Simon would seek to curry favor with Chenmo. It was astonishing that these younger generations dared to speak to him so insolently. At that moment, Chenmo lit a cigarette, exhaling a plume of smoke, and calmly stated, Do not speak of your father. Even your uncle Wang Tai would not dare address me in such a manner. What gives you the audacity to provoke me? This proclamation sent shockwaves through the crowd. Zhang Ning and the others stared at Chenmo, bewildered. Had this man lost his senses? This was Wang Chun, the son of the newly appointed Secretary Wang Zhun, the nephew of Wang Tai, the branch manager of the provincial bank. Moreover, Wang Chun had a notoriously foul temper and would not hesitate to resort to violence over the slightest provocation. There was a case where a wealthy heir was rendered incapacitated simply for casting a glance in Wang Chen's direction. Did Chenmo truly believe that his acquaintance with Chui Nan would afford him the strength to confront such a formidable figure in Jiangbei? Gong Zili could not help but shake her head in derision, stubborn as a mule. Do you think Wang Chun is easily trifled with? Wu Junfan, however, remained silent, a glint of schadenfreude in his eyes. Chenmo had previously embarrassed him significantly, and this time, not even Chui Nan would be able to protect him. Wang Chun would surely retaliate with full force. As expected, Wang Chen's face darkened, his gaze turning icy as he fixed his eyes on Chenmo. Do not presume that just because Gong Ziyuan is shielding you, I would hesitate to strike. Kneel and apologize to me, or believe that I will break your legs. You may certainly attempt it, Chenmo replied, a smile playing on his lips. Wang Chun laughed, an enraged, ironic laugh. He has dominated Jiangbei for many years, yet he has never encountered anyone from his peers who dared to defy him so brazenly. All right, Wang Chun exclaimed thrice, jabbing a finger at Chenmo's nose. I had no intention of causing trouble, especially with my father just promoted, but since you have chosen to provoke me, you cannot blame me for what follows. The moment these words escaped his lips, Wu Junfan and others exchanged anxious glances. This is disastrous. Wang Chun is on the verge of losing control. Hey. Brother Chun, calm down. Do not act impulsively. This is a gathering of the wealthiest, a congregation of Jiangbei's elite. If you create a ruckus, it will bring shame upon Uncle Wang as well. At this moment, it was surprisingly Wu Junfan who stepped in to mediate. If Wang Chan were to step outside and kill Chen Mo, Wu Junfan would remain indifferent. However, this hotel belongs to Wu Junfan's uncle. If chaos ensues, he would surely be dragged into it. While advising, he turned to Chen Mo. Chen Mo, do you not comprehend the disparity in status? Wang Chun holds a significant position. You, on the other hand, are merely a swindler, showing utter disrespect to Secretary Wang and President Wang. Apologize to him at once. Chen Mo, apologize quickly. You have no idea how serious this could become. You might truly end up dead, Gong Zili urged anxiously. Despite her animosity towards Chen Mo, she did not wish to witness his demise, recalling how he once saved her. Fine, since so many are pleading on your behalf, I shall grant you an opportunity. Kneel and apologize now, and I shall spare you. Wang Chun retorted coldly. Upon hearing this, Chen Mo appeared unfazed, responding calmly. I extend the same offer to you. Kneel and apologize now, and I too can spare you. As these words fell, Wang Chen's expression shifted dramatically, his eyes ablaze with fury. He raised his fist, preparing to strike Chen Mo. Thankfully, Chu Tian acted swiftly, seizing him and whispering, Xiao Chun, do not act rashly. If you strike him, the fault will lie with you. When Song Simon questions you, how will you explain it to your father? While speaking, he turned to glare at Chen Mo. Chen Mo, do you think you can act with impunity just because we are at a gathering of the wealthy? Once you step outside, do you believe that any one of us could not easily tear you apart? Do you dare to bark in front of me, a defeated foe? Shen Montak Chakot lightly. Do you believe you are worthy? What about me? Chu Tian's friend, the top scion of Jiangbei, Li Hui, stepped forward, his demeanor grim. You are still unworthy. Chen Mo replied with a shake of his head. Oh, what about me then? Wang Chun interjected with a cold smirk. Still unworthy. Chen Mo maintained his stance. The onlookers were increasingly astounded. The combined wealth and influence of these three top scions could indeed stir half of Jiangbei. How could they still be deemed unworthy? So, you are this confident? Then what if I join in? Does that make us worthy? A deep voice resonated. Everyone turned to see a group of young individuals approaching, led by a poised man of about 25, exuding a strong aura. Song Gong, it's Song Tsong. Someone gasped in astonishment. Who is Song Tsong? I have never heard of this individual. Due to Chun Mo's extraordinary performance, an increasing number of onlookers gathered around, including many young individuals from distant regions. Song Tsong, the scion of the Song family, was present. His grandfather was once the paramount leader of Jiangbei. His father was the food magnate Song Sijia, and his uncle was none other than Song Siming, the initiator of this grand assembly and the current leader of Jiangbei. The murmurs of the crowd revealed Song Siming's nephew. A collective gasp echoed among the spectators. The foremost initiator and organizer of the Wealthy Leaders Conference was indeed Song Siming, who among those present was unaware of his reputation. Facing the imposing presence of Song Tsong, who seemed poised to use his aura to bend Chun Mo's will, Chun Mo remained unfazed, casually taking a drag from his cigarette and declaring, not worthy yet. These words, once spoken, appear to predict the reactions of those present, who seemed almost numb. Li Hui, Chu Tian, Wang Chun, and Song Tsong, regarded as the four kings of Jiangbei's affluent second generation, had all been affronted by Chun Mo's audacity. Many gazed at Chun Mo with pity. Even if he managed to survive the Wealthy Leaders Conference, it was inconceivable that he would leave the Zeus Hotel unscathed. However, Song Tsong merely smiled in disappointment, devoid of anger, regarding Chun Mo as if he were a simpleton. Such naivete, he failed to comprehend the sheer magnitude of their combined influence, akin to a primary school student naively expressing a desire to challenge a world champion. Ignorance breeds fearlessness. It seems, a person of such insignificance was hardly worth Song Tsong's effort. Even a victory over him would hold no merit. At that moment, Chun Mo's phone rang unexpectedly. Unperturbed by the surrounding chaos, he pressed the answer button. You dare take a call even when facing death? Wang Chen chuckled. Who is it? Tell that fool to come collect your remains. Chen Mo looked up at Wang Chun, his expression bemused. It's a call from your uncle, Wang Tai. Chapter 55, All Rise. Welcome Mr. Chen, say that again if you dare. Wang Chun exclaimed in a fit of rage, brandishing his fist and charging at Chun Mo once more. At that moment, a deep male voice echoed through the crowd. What is happening here? The onlookers instinctively parted to form two lines, clearing a path. Upon seeing the newcomer, Chu Tian's eyes brightened, and he quickly approached with utmost respect. Uncle Gong, you have arrived. Gong Ming, valued at 92 billion. He ranked 8th among the wealthy elite of Jiangbei, a local magnate. Even amidst the gathering of tycoons at the wealthiest conference, he stood out as a figure of prominence. Noticing Gong Ming's presence, even the likes of Song Tsong and Wang Chun, top-tier second-generation rich, dared not act frivolously and promptly greeted him. Uncle Gong. Gong Ming nodded. However, upon spotting Chun Mo and Gong Ziyuan, he was momentarily taken aback, followed by a look of discontent. What on earth is happening here? Such commotion at a prestigious event like the wealthiest conference is utterly disgraceful. Uncle Gong, it's like this Chu Tian embellished the tale, recounting the events. Gong Ming's expression darkened, his face icy as he glared at Chun Mo. A mere street con artist dares to create a ruckus at the wealthiest conference. Chen Montauk, I command you to apologize to everyone immediately and leave the conference. Dad, Mo Gu is silence. Gong Ming interrupted Gong Ziyuan, his impatience evident. I have yet to hold you accountable for bringing this fraud here. Turning to Chun Mo, he pointed a finger at him. You, apologize. Chun Mo regarded Gong Ming with a sardonic smile, his eyes brimming with disdain. Unable to contain his fury, Gong Ming shouted, What? You think you're above me? Indeed. Chen Montauk replied nonchalantly. Everyone was left utterly speechless. After offending the younger generation, this individual had now dared to insult a prominent local magnate. Was he truly defying fate? Security. Someone, Gong Ming, uninterested in further dialogue, called for security. Just then, a commotion erupted at the entrance, accompanied by voices. They're here. The main act has arrived. It was President Wang Tai and Secretary Wang Zhun, along with the esteemed leader, Song Siming. Whereas the newly crowned richest individual. Did he not come? The arrival of Jiangbei's top magnates instantly captivated the crowd, drawing attention away from the trivial dispute with Chun Mo. Gong Ming inhaled deeply. Coldly glaring at Chun Mo, you lucky brat, consider yourself fortunate. After the conference, I shall settle this with you. Ziyuan, come here. With that, Gong Ming took Gong Ziyuan away without further ado. You truly are fortunate, aren't you? However, I am eager to see how you manage to leave this hotel alive after the conference. With that, Wang Chun hastily followed suit. Kid, may fortune smile upon you. Song Tsong chuckled, shaking his head as he walked away. To him, Chun Mo was merely a fleeting interlude, not worthy of time wasted. He had come today to meet the newly minted tycoon, the future financial mogul of Jiangbei. Unexpectedly, Gong Zili chose to remain. Chun Mo, have you prepared yourself to withstand Wang Chen's wrath? Wang Chun was not to be trifled with. He harbored a petty nature and held grudges fiercely. In the past, someone had merely glanced at him, and that individual had been rendered a vegetable. It was prudent to consider him. Chen Montauk responded calmly. Perhaps it is he who should contemplate how to endure my fury. Gong Zili rolled her eyes dramatically, a friendly reminder. It's not too late to flee now. But once the meeting concludes, you won't have the luxury of escape. Are you genuinely concerned for me? Chun Mo teased, gazing at Gong Zili. Concerned for you? Huh. I assure you, Gong Zili, would rather leap from the top floor than waste a thought on you. You shameless wretch. I merely wish to exact my revenge. Do you understand? Why are you so agitated, shouting so loudly? Observing Gong Zili's face flush from his teasing, Chun Mo suddenly feigned horror. No way, no way. You're not falling for me, are you? TSK, competing with my own sister for a boyfriend, transformed love into hatred, incessantly mocking me. Yet when my life was at stake, she bravely intervened. Your psyche is truly twisted, perverse. Gong Zili's face turned crimson with rage as she stomped her foot and turned to flee. She was so easily provoked. Chun Mo shook his head, amused. Once the magnates arrived, the meeting of the billionaires commenced swiftly. in the grand auditorium of the Zeus Hotel, which could accommodate 3,000 people. Elegantly attired waitresses in high-slit kipeos guided the distinguished guests to their seats according to their status. Naturally, the podium was reserved for Wang Tai, Song Siming, and several top-tier wealthy individuals, with proximity to the stage signifying higher rank. Those like Zhang Ning, who had wormed their way in through connections, were relegated to standing at the back, with no seating to be had. Meanwhile, top second-generation elites like Song Tsong and Li Hui merely had a spot at the last row. The scale of the billionaire meeting was truly grand. Upon witnessing numerous individuals of similar standing to his father relegated to the second row, Wang Chun was astounded. The influence of this new tycoon was indeed exaggerated. Even these powerful figures had traveled great distances just for a glimpse of him. Indeed, were it not for the prowess of our elders, we would likely not even have the chance to stand in the back. Song Tsong echoed with a sense of reflection. That Chin fellow, a charlatan, is blissfully ignorant. Daring to provoke Wang Xiao, Li Hui remarked. Were it not for Gong Ziyuan shielding him, I would have long since knocked him down a peg. Wang Chun grumbled in indignation. Shu, lower your voices. Speak too loudly, and the security will be upon us. Shang Gong Gao Diun. Only then did the group refrain from speaking aloud. By the way, Chengge Song Xiao, where's the new tycoon? Zhu Dian Yin Gui? Yes, Chengge Song Xiao. Where's the new tycoon? Let us meet him. The affluent offspring surrounding immediately approached with eager faces. Today's conference was specifically organized by Song Siming and Wang Tai for the newly appointed richest individual, highlighting the significance of the event. Should one manage to associate with such high-ranking figures, their status within the family would undoubtedly elevate. Rest assured, the elders from both our families have sent us here to facilitate our connection with the new wealth magnate. Wang Chun declared with pride. Once the meeting concludes, I shall accompany young Master Song to propose a toast to the newly affluent. Thank you, Brother Chun. Thank you, young Master Song. Brother Chun is formidable. Young Master Song exudes dominance. The crowd enthusiastically flattered them. At that moment, Wang Zhun, who succeeded Song Siming as the new secretary, stepped onto the stage, prompting a hush among the audience. Wang Chun quickly signaled the other wealthy heirs to pay close attention to the meeting. Wang Zhun felt an unparalleled sense of honor today. On stage stood the most distinguished magnates of Jiangbei, while below were the affluent and influential gathered from neighboring cities and counties. In terms of power, one could easily summon 70 or 80 individuals of greater stature. Yet today, it was he who presided over the assembly. The reason was simple: Wang Tai's close relationship with the newly wealthy. He thought to himself that Wang Chun must seize the opportunity to curry favor with the new affluent individual. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Wang Zhun from the municipal government, here to host today's gathering of the wealthiest. I understand you did not come to listen to my trivialities, so let us invite the new wealth magnate, Mr. Chun, to the stage to address us. Wang Zhun was aware that Wang Tai had confirmed Mr. Chen's arrival by phone. As he concluded his remarks, thunderous applause erupted from the audience. Is the new wealth magnate here? Which one is he? Look at the elderly gentleman at the front with white hair. Could that be him? No, that's Zhang Mao, the wealthiest in Jiangzhou. Where is Jiangbei's richest? The audience clapped while scanning the room, filled with curiosity to glimpse the new affluent individual. Even the prominent figures in the first and second rows began to peer around. How exhilarating. We are about to meet the future financial authority, Wang Chun exclaimed. With a fortune of 65 billion, ranking first among the nearby 8 cities. I must learn from my idol today, Song Tsong added excitedly. In the future, I shall also possess such grand stature. I must. Chu Tian clenched his fist, silently bowing to himself. At that moment, unexpectedly, Chen Mo, seated at the back, slowly rose and, under everyone's gaze, began to walk towards the stage. Chen Montak, what are you doing? Gong Zili exclaimed anxiously. They are inviting Mr. Chun, the wealth magnate. Not you, a charlatan. I am the newly appointed wealth magnate. Chun Mo replied with a smile directed at Gong Zili, then continued his advance. Chen Mo, what are you doing? Don't be impulsive. Wu Jun Fan was taken aback, desperate to intervene. This was his uncle's hotel, and Wu Junfan was also there to help maintain them. If Chun Mo were to disrupt the billionaire conference, Wu Junfan would surely be humiliated. Let him go. However, Wang Chun restrained Wu Junfan, a mischievous grin playing on his lips. Does this kid think we won't stoop to his level? Do these magnates not share the same sentiment? Song Tsong nodded with a smile. Does he really believe himself to be humorous? Such a jest is audacious. Chu Tian silently shook his head. Why did I ever lose to such a mindless individual? Under the watchful eyes of the crowd, security personnel advanced, ready to intercept Chun Mo. At that moment, the bald-headed Shui man, seated in the center, stood up first, exclaiming excitedly, "Mr. Chun!" Simultaneously, Song Siming on stage rose as well, proclaiming loudly, "Everyone, please stand. Let's welcome Mr. Chun." Chapter 56. The new financial authority, with a resounding applause initiated by Song Siming. Every distinguished figure in the hall rose from their seats, chanting in unison, "Welcome, Mr. Chun. Welcome, Mr. Chun. Welcome, Mr. Chun." As all the luminaries stood to honor Chun Mo, Wang Chun was left utterly bewildered, a look of sheer confusion adorning his face. He turned to his father, Wang Jun, seeking assistance, only to witness Wang Jun, Wang Tai, Zheng Qian, and numerous other influential figures from Jiangbei also bowing in reverence, proclaiming, "Welcome, Mr. Chun." Amidst the myriad expressions of doubt, astonishment, and incredulity surrounding him, Chun Mo stood with his hands clasped behind his back, striding forth with an air of dignity, each step resembling an ascent to the heavens. Gong Zili stood frozen in place, her mind reeling. Chun Mo. He is the newly crowned richest man? She felt as though she had just heard the most ludicrous jest of the century. The other dignitaries were equally taken aback. Is this truly the new billionaire? He appears so youthful, scarcely more than 20. He resembles my son, who has just graduated from university. Such promise in youth. Zhang Ning and the others were left speechless. Wu Junfan's lips turned pale, his entire body trembling uncontrollably. He seemed on the verge of uttering something. Yet the words eluded him. Chen Montak, the wealthiest in Jiangbei? At that moment, Wu Junfan finally grasped Wai Shui and held such profound respect for Chen Mo. After the initial shock, a wave of intense fear washed over Wu Junfan. His mind was flooded with memories of mocking Chen Mo. I have humiliated the richest man in Jiangbei. The more he pondered, the more fear consumed him, until he was left ashen-faced, drenched in sweat. In stark contrast, Lan Yuner's mouth formed an O shape, a mixture of surprise, joy, and disbelief. Meanwhile, the wealthy offspring within Chu Tian's circle had succumbed to a profound silence. Wang Chun fixated on Chun Mo's silhouette, muttering incessantly, "How could this be? It's impossible. How could he be the richest in Jiangbei? There must be a mistake. It cannot be wrong." Li Hui struggled to suppress the tempest within, forcing a wry smile. Mr. Song personally welcomed him. There is no way it could be mistaken. Song Tsong, in a state of terror, found his nails digging into his palms. No one understood the inner workings of the billionaire conference better than he. Song Siming intended to leverage this gathering to elevate Chun Mo to an even greater pinnacle, establishing him as the financial authority not only in Jiangbei, but across the surrounding 8 cities. I once believed myself to be a deity, surveying the masses from on high, only to realize that you are the true God, while I am merely an ant beneath your foot. Slowly closing his eyes, Song Tsong managed a bitter smile. Chen Mo, you have triumphed. Meanwhile, Chu Tan, eyes bloodshot and fists clenched, glared at the composed young man on stage, inwardly seething. Very well. You are indeed a man worthy of surpassing me. But what does it matter that you are the richest in Jiangbei? Once I usurp the Gong family, the title of the richest will change hands. At that moment, I aim to reveal to you what true greatness entails. Most astonishingly, however, was the sight of Gong Ming seated on the stage. He remained oblivious, still perched in his chair, as Chun Mo ascended the steps with unwavering determination. He truly accomplished it. Once realization dawned upon him, Gong Ming's countenance paled. Within a mere month, he had amassed over 3 billion, surpassing my own fortune, and even befriended prominent figures like Song Siming and Wang Tai. becoming the wealthiest in Jiangbei. In comparison, even the combined fortunes of Chu Tian, Song Tsong, and Wang Chun would pale in insignificance. With this thought, Gong Ming finally stood, trembling, his eyes wide as he observed the many magnates who now regarded Chun Mo with the utmost respect. He sighed deeply, admitting, "I once believed you would never be my equal. Yet who could have foreseen that you have utterly surpassed me? In just 1 month, in a mere 30 days, Chun Mo eclipsed the achievements Gong Ming had painstakingly built over decades." The realization of this filled Gong Ming with a suffocating sense of despair. As Chun Mo took the stage, under the gaze of the multitude, he grasped the microphone, inhaling deeply, a sense of grandeur swelling within him. In his previous life, he could not even touch the heels of the likes of Wu Junfan, a second-generation rich. In this life, all the magnates were compelled to address him as Mr. Chun. Rising to welcome him, I express my heartfelt gratitude to all who traveled great distances to attend this summit of the wealthiest. The reason I stand here as the richest is merely a stroke of luck. In comparison to the esteemed predecessors present, I still have much to learn. Chun Mo remarked with a faint smile. Yet, everyone could discern that these were mere pleasantries. To attain such wealth could not simply be attributed to luck. I must extend my special thanks to one individual. As he spoke, Chun Mo's gaze fell upon Gong Ziyuan, seated in the last row, his eyes brimming with affection. "Zian, it is your companionship that has brought me to this juncture. Please join me on stage to share in this honor, if you would." In an instant, all eyes in the room were drawn to Gong Ziyuan. The men in attendance held their breath at her appearance. She was breathtaking, as beautiful as a celestial being. Meanwhile, the women in the audience were consumed with envy and jealousy. What woman would not covet such a moment in front of so many distinguished figures at the summit of the wealthy? Upon ascending the stage, Gong Zin gazed at the eminent individuals below, feeling both exhilarated and fearful. Many of them held far greater status than her father. "Do not be afraid," Chun Mo reassured her, gently grasping her hand. "This is merely the beginning. There will be even grander occasions in the future. The wealthiest in Jiangbei." Chun Mo's ambition reached for the title of the richest in the world. For him, those who appeared godlike to ordinary mortals were but stepping stones on the path to greater aspirations. "Sister," below, Gong Zili watched Chun Mo, gazing affectionately at Gong Zin, her heart a tumult of resentment, jealousy, admiration, and bittersweet emotions, a whirlwind of conflicting feelings. In that fleeting moment, a wave of dizziness washed over Gong Zili, inducing a surreal illusion. It seemed that the person on stage, holding hands with Chun Mo, was none other than herself. How infuriating! "Gong Zili, what absurd thoughts are you entertaining? That scoundrel is the very architect of your social demise." She vigorously shook her head, dispelling the nebulous notions that clouded her mind. Once Chun Mo concluded his remarks, Song Siming took the microphone, smiling as he addressed the audience. "I believe many of you have already caught wind of the news. The purpose of this prestigious summit is twofold. Firstly, we gather to meet the illustrious Mr. Chun Mo, who has astonished the global financial community. Secondly, I propose that we appoint Mr. Chun as the new financial authority." A thunderous uproar ensued. Even those who were somewhat prepared for this revelation could not help but gasp in astonishment, utterly taken aback. Chapter 57. The confrontation of the two wealthiest tycoons. The origins of the financial decision-makers can be traced back several decades. At that time, the economy of the Great Xia nation was experiencing rapid development, having just begun to pilot stock trading, with Jiangbei being one of the initial trial areas. It was during this period that several prominent hedge funds, led by the Atom Fund, unleashed their formidable financial power and aggressive tactics upon the international currency market, launching attacks on fragile currencies with alarming success. As the Jiangbei pilot was newly established, the Atom Fund set its sights on the economically and monetarily unstable Great Xia, preparing to initiate a large-scale stock market assault to reap substantial profits. During that time, the sentiment among financial professionals across Great Xia was predominantly bleak. Even some of the world's top 10 developed nations had suffered financial crises instigated by the Atom Fund. Should the Atom Fund successfully execute its attack this time, The economy of Great Xia would regress by 3 decades, triggering a domestic economic crisis, widespread layoffs, soaring prices. At that moment, the hardship faced by the people of Great Xia would be unimaginable. It was a war devoid of gunfire. Defeat would be a fate far worse than a mere military loss. Amidst this turmoil, the wealthiest man in Jiangbei, Fang Jinxin, stepped forward, rallying financial professionals from all corners of Great Xia to vow a fierce battle against the Atom Fund. To facilitate Fang Jinxin's command, all financial personnel in Great Xia unanimously agreed to appoint him as the financial decision-maker. Henceforth, any directives issued by the decision-maker would be followed unconditionally by those in the financial circle, without inquiry into the process or consideration of consequences. In that battle, Fang Jinxin appeared as a divine figure, wielding power with remarkable dexterity. His words could incite the entire stockholding populace of Great Xia to either buy or sell en masse, sending those foreign adversaries seeking to undermine the economy into a chaotic retreat. However, it was also during this conflict that the authorities, recognizing the overwhelming influence of the financial decision-maker, imposed a ban, forbidding the appointment of another decision-maker for 30 years. Today, although the ban has been lifted, the modern business community lacks the unity of the past, resulting in no further appointments of a financial decision-maker. To everyone's surprise, at the assembly of the wealthiest tycoons, Song Siming unexpectedly brought this matter to the forefront. At this moment, all present exchanged glances, each reflecting astonishment and disbelief. Song Siming seemed to anticipate this very scene, and with a smile, he remarked, "Decades ago, Jiangbei stood as a formidable entity, rivaling the capital and the metropolis. However, over these years, the economic development of Jiangbei has consistently declined, let alone the capital and the metropolis. Even provincial cities have far surpassed us. As a leader of Jiangbei, I am profoundly pained by this reality. Thus, I wish to seize this opportunity to nominate Mr. Chun as the financial decision-maker, uniting all present to create a new financial circle centered around Jiangbei, and to restore the brilliance established by our esteemed predecessor, Fang Jinxin." His words were delivered with grandiloquence. The attendees, seasoned and astute, were all acutely aware of the underlying implications. Even if Chen Mo were to truly become the financial arbiter, he could never wield the influence and charisma of Fang Jinxin. Song Siming merely sought to ride the coattails of the financial arbiter's prestige to achieve his own ambitions and ascend further. While everyone understood this, none dared to challenge Song Siming's authority, resulting in a heavy silence. With a smile, Song Siming remarked, "Since no one is voicing dissent, shall I assume unanimous agreement?" He then called out, "Secretary Wang, present the insignia of the arbiter." Wang Zhen waved his hand, and soon a beautiful server approached, bearing a tray covered with a red cloth. Song Siming lifted the cloth, revealing a dazzling golden glow that shimmered under the lights. Before them lay a grand seal intricately carved with a 5-clawed golden dragon, the Golden Dragon Seal. Someone exclaimed in astonishment. Indeed, this was the very insignia crafted from pure gold by the inaugural financial arbiter, Fang Jinxin, holding the Golden Dragon Seal with an air of nonchalance. Song Siming addressed the assembly. All the influential figures and wealthy elites in attendance gazed intently at the seal, their eyes gleaming with avarice. The insignia of the financial arbiter, the Golden Dragon Seal. To see the seal is to see the man. It was with this very seal that Fang Jinxin commanded legions, sending foreign adversaries into disarray. Approaching Chun Mo with solemnity, Song Siming declared, "Mr. Chun, I entrust this to you, hoping you will always regard yourself as the financial arbiter of Jiangbei, contributing significantly to our financial sphere." Chun Mo nodded, prepared to accept the Golden Dragon Seal with a smile. "Wait," a voice of discontent interrupted from the stage. Frowning, Song Siming focused on the source of the interruption, revealing a middle-aged man in his 50s, bespectacled and square-faced, rising to his feet. A stir arose from the audience. It was Jiang Ronghua, the former richest man in Jiangbei. It was rumored that his wealth fell just shy of the newly crowned tycoon by a mere 100 million. As the unacknowledged king of the Jiangbei financial realm, Jiang Ronghua was understandably displeased by Song Siming's endorsement of Chun Mo as arbiter, perceiving it as a direct affront. This promised to be an entertaining spectacle. Everyone braced themselves for the unfolding drama. Mr. Jiang, do you have any objections? Song Siming inquired, a hint of irritation flickering in his gaze. Mr. Song, I wholeheartedly support the selection of a financial arbiter. Jiang Ronghua responded with a smile. Oh, then what do you propose? Song Siming's expression softened slightly. However, I believe appointing Chun Mo is highly inappropriate. After all, Chun Mo is far too young and simplistic in his thinking. The role of arbiter is of immense gravity. Any missteps could throw the entire Jiangbei, and indeed the financial realm of Jianghai province, into chaos. Jiang Ronghua asserted. I concur with Brother Hua's sentiment, declared a tall, arrogant middle-aged man, cigar in hand. Rising from his seat, gasps echoed through the crowd. It was Zhang Yaoyang, the previous richest man in Jiangbei. Taking a deep drag from a cigar, Zhang Yaoyang proclaimed, as the saying goes, with no hair on the lips, one cannot be trusted to execute tasks reliably. The financial authority figures, we support Mr. Song's nomination. However, should this young man be recommended, I, Zhang Yaoyang, shall be the first to oppose. Song Siming furrowed his brow and inquired, what do you two mean by that? I believe that in matters of finance, merit should prevail. I, lacking in talent, am willing to shoulder this heavy responsibility. Jiang Ronghua candidly declared, if Brother Hua wishes to take on this role, I, Zhang Yaoyang, naturally have no objections. Of course, I am also eager to test the efficacy of this golden dragon seal. Zhang Yaoyang replied with a smile. Everyone present was aware of the familial relationship between Zhang Yaoyang and Jiang Ronghua. The two were as close as family. As Chun Mo was on the verge of becoming the financial authority figure, the sudden upheaval was clearly a premeditated maneuver between the two. The atmosphere in the room turned tense, as if a sword had been drawn. The oppressive ambience induced a suffocating sensation. A deathly silence lingered for several long seconds. Just as Song Siming was about to speak, Jiang Ronghua interrupted him. Mr. Song, please rest assured, should either I or Yaoyang become the financial authority figure, we will surely collaborate well with the municipal government and with you. This statement was a pledge of loyalty, implying that if you endorse me, I too can ascend and prosper. This, Song Siming looked at Chun Mo with a troubled expression. Chapter 58, The Battle of the Financial Titans. I wholeheartedly concur with the sentiments expressed by Mr. Jiang and Mr. Zhang. In the realm of finance, it is the capable who shall prevail. Faced with the formidable presence of Jiang Ronghua and Zhang Yaoyang, both former magnates of Jiangbei, Chun Mo nodded with a subtle smile. The assembly fell into a stunned silence. Was he truly conceding so effortlessly? If that is the case, then I shall graciously accept this challenge. Jiang Ronghua proclaimed, his hand poised over the golden dragon seal. Yet a powerful hand intercepted his motion. Jiang Ronghua lifted his gaze in confusion. Chun Mo's voice resonated clearly. The capable shall prevail. Thus, I assert that I am more suited for the position of Jiangbei's financial authority than Mr. Jiang. Boom! A single stone stirred 1,000 ripples. Everyone held their breath, incredulous as they beheld Chun Mo's bold declaration. Was he truly prepared to confront Jiang Ronghua head-on? Are you suggesting that in the realm of finance, you surpass me? Jiang Ronghua chuckled. Chun Mo simply nodded, neither affirming nor denying. Very well. Are you daring enough to engage in a competition with me? Jiang Ronghua replied with a fierce glint in his eyes. How do you propose we compete? Chen Montak inquired. The financial authority must possess the ability to manipulate the markets. Let us compare our prowess in futures trading. We shall each select a local commodity from Jiangbei's market to short or go long, with a deadline set before today's market close. What say you, dare you accept? Jiang Ronghua scoffed. Investing in stocks and futures involves a significant degree of luck. However, trading futures, whether shorting or going long, is entirely a test of skill. Going long is merely the practice of buying low and selling high. In contrast, shorting is somewhat more intricate. In simple terms, it entails borrowing an asset to sell at its peak. then repurchasing it when the price declines to return to the lender. Going long requires capital, while shorting necessitates an asset. Jiangbei stands as one of the pioneering markets for futures trading in the early days of the Great CI Empire. Chen Montauk, did you not amass a staggering 3.5 billion in the international futures market? Surely, you wouldn't shy away from this modest local market? Zhang Yaoyang taunted. Mr. Chen, do not acquiesce to their challenge. Song Siming urged anxiously. In the local futures market of Jiangbei, they possess both wealth and resources, capable of executing trades at a mere thought. No matter your acumen, you cannot outmaneuver them. The nature of this contest is entirely different from previous ones. It is a direct clash of economic strength, devoid of luck or foresight. Song Siming harbored little faith in Chun Mo's ability to surpass these two seasoned foxes, especially as they clearly intended to unite against him. No matter, Chun Mo waved his hand dismissively, stepping forward to face Zhang Ronghua and Zhang Yaoyang. He declared with conviction, as the prospective financial authority, if I am not willing to engage in battle, it would indeed be a source of ridicule. I accept this challenge. Zhang Yaoyang erupted into laughter. You possess spirit, but daring to play futures with us in Jiangbei, you shall meet a dire fate. The reigning tycoon, the former tycoon, and the one before him, the triumvirate of wealth. The battle of the financial titans awaits. Merely contemplating the matter stirs the fervor within everyone. The faces of the crowd radiate excitement, eagerly anticipating the commencement of the competition. At this juncture, the market has already opened. The fluctuations of the futures market are far more
Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. I didn't get a chance to see the name. I'm sorry about that. But I appreciate the follow. Thank you so much.
tumultuous than those of the stock market. The market conditions shift dramatically every second, rendering predictions utterly futile. Chen Montauk, Zhang Yaoyang, and Jiang Ronghua stand before their laptops, intently observing the screens. Before long, Jiang Ronghua speaks up. Yaoyang and I have decided to short Jiangbei watermelon. Upon hearing this, the onlookers cast incredulous glances at Chun Mo, as if he were a ghost. This year, the watermelon yield in Jiangbei has significantly exceeded demand, with prices plummeting repeatedly. Moreover, Jiang Ronghua and Zhang Yaoyang are major players in the watermelon futures market, holding partnerships with 30 of the large farmers in Jiangbei. With hundreds of warehouses filled with an abundance of watermelons at their disposal, they could, if they chose, flood the market within a day, driving prices down to a mere penny per pound. How could Chun Mo possibly compete with them? Yet Chun Mo gazes at Jiang Ronghua and Zhang Yaoyang with an unusual expression. Are you certain you want to short Jiangbei watermelon? He vividly recalls that the watermelon futures had only existed for a brief few months before being delisted from the market. This was due to a rare torrential rain on this very day in history, which led to the breach of the Jiangbei Dam, devastating the watermelon fields and destroying warehouses, causing prices to surge tenfold. The authorities deemed watermelon a high-risk commodity, too susceptible to weather fluctuations, and subsequently withdrew it from the futures market. To his astonishment, Jiang Ronghua and Zhang Yaoyang intend to short the watermelon market today. Is this not tantamount to delivering Chun Mo's head on a platter? Make a decision quickly. Zhang Yaoyang urged impatiently. Well, since you have chosen to short Jiangbei watermelon, I shall opt to go long on it. Chen Mo declared. Many of the financial moguls present, well-versed in the Jiangbei watermelon market, burst into laughter upon hearing Chun Mo's contrarian stance against Jiang Ronghua and Zhang Yaoyang. What a jest! The watermelon yield is abundant this year, with prices continuously declining, and you claim you wish to go long? Are you perhaps deluded by your past experiences in the international futures market? It seems the position of the financial decision-maker will undoubtedly belong to Jiang Ronghua. Jiang Ronghua chuckled. Everyone, let us not be so harsh. After all, he might just be the reincarnation of the White Dragon King, capable of summoning winds and rains to devastate all the watermelons in Jiangbei. Wouldn't that drive the prices up? Indeed, I could summon winds and rains. Moreover, I do intend to act as you suggested. Chun Mo replied earnestly, nodding. This elicited a chorus of laughter from everyone present. Ha ha ha, summon winds and rains. You might as well claim you can soar through the skies and achieve immortality. Are you trading futures, or are you indulging in superstition? After so many years in futures trading, I have never encountered such absurdity. Gongming shook his head, utterly speechless. Summon winds and rains? Destroy all the watermelons in Jiangbei? What nonsense is this? It seems you've played the con for too long and have become ensnared in your own theatrics. Meanwhile, Song Tsong Wang Chun and others could not suppress their mocking laughter. Fortunately, Chun Mo's demeanor exudes a certain lack of intelligence. If he were to ascend to the role of decision-maker, they would undoubtedly find themselves in dire straits. Gongxing, slightly apprehensive, whispered in Mo Ge, "Do you truly possess the ability to summon the winds and command the rain?" Her skepticism was palpable, for such powers were the realm of legendary deities. "Just wait and see," Chen Mo replied with unwavering confidence. At that moment, a voice cried out in alarm. The market has plummeted. The price of Jiangbei watermelons is in free fall. The crowd turned to witness the dramatic decline in watermelon prices, which continued to spiral downwards. Not long ago, Jiang Ronghua and Zhang Yaoyang had made phone calls, and it was widely speculated that the two had instructed their subordinates to unleash a substantial stockpile to suppress watermelon prices. At this juncture, victory seemed all but certain. Jiang Ronghua chuckled, turning to Chun Mo, and said, "Let me be frank with you. I have just ordered my men to open 100 warehouses and release 300,000 tons of fresh watermelons for those merchants to pre-order. I see no reason for you to waste everyone's time waiting any longer. This golden dragon seal is destined to belong to me." Jiang Ronghua. Chapter 59. Awaiting the wind, Chun Mo remained silent, simply shutting his eyes. "If you enjoy dragging this out, then we shall accompany you. Our aim is to ensure your defeat is both profound and undeniable." Zhang Yaoyang snorted disdainfully. The entire annual watermelon production in Jiangbei barely amounts to a mere 1 million tons. Upon the revelation that 30,000 tons of watermelon were stored in 100 warehouses, the local watermelon farmers erupted in chaos. A panic sell-off ensued. The price of watermelons, which had once been 3 dimes per pound, began to plummet. 2 dimes and 5 cents, 2 dimes, 1 dime and 5 cents, 1 dime, 5 cents. The hearts of the farmers bled profusely. At 5 cents per pound, they could barely recoup the cost of pesticides. Yet, despite this dire situation, the merchants collecting the watermelons remained indecisive, meticulously selecting and even attempting to drive the prices lower. Many farmers, in a fit of rage, smashed their entire fields of watermelons, sitting amidst the ruins and weeping uncontrollably. In the local futures market of Jiangbei, the price of Jiangbei watermelon futures plummeted dramatically. -20, -30, -40, -50, -60. By 2 o'clock in the afternoon, with only an hour and a half before the market closed, the futures price had already dropped by an astonishing 70 under the short-selling maneuvers of Zhang Yaoyang and Jiang Ronghua. This spectacle left all witnesses utterly astounded and filled with trepidation. Unlike trading stocks or futures for profit, this was a purely orchestrated manipulation of the market. The term manipulation may seem straightforward, yet achieving it is akin to reaching the heavens. However, Zhang Yaoyang and Jiang Ronghua had accomplished it. They had caused the Jiangbei watermelon futures to crash by 70 in a single day. In comparison, the most illustrious achievement of the former financial mogul Fang Jinxi was a mere 85 short in a day. These two had already qualified to rival Fang Jinxi. The alliance of the two richest men in Jiangbei was indeed a fearsome force. It was the first time I witnessed such effortless manipulation of futures. This was the true essence of sitting on the market. It turned out that our previous ventures in futures were merely a gamble. I broke out in a cold sweat. Thank goodness I had not encountered such a formidable player earlier. Otherwise, I would have surely been harvested like chives. Every individual present inhaled sharply. Zhang Yaoyang flicked a cigar and arrogantly addressed Chinamo. A financial mogul must wield the power to upheave the market with a mere word. We have now shorted 70 of the Jiangbei watermelon futures. I am eager to see how you intend to turn the tide. Jiang Ronghua scoffed. What your prowess in stocks and futures? What does it matter if you become the richest in Jiangbei? It's merely luck. Encountering a formidable player like us, we could render you destitute overnight. Though their words were brimming with hubris, even Chinamo had to concede their point. If he were simply an adept in stocks or futures, facing these two would indeed lead to utter defeat. However, alas, Chinamo had transcended the ordinary. The price of Jiangbei watermelons had plummeted by 80. At that moment, someone exclaimed in shock. Gong Ziyuan could no longer contain herself. She rushed to Chen Mo, drenched in sweat, and anxiously implored, "Brother Mo, should we invest money to drive the prices back up? Doing nothing will surely lead to failure." Chen Mo shook his head. "If I were to inject 2 to 3 billion, I could indeed restore the watermelon prices. However, that would be futile. I would merely be sacrificing my entire fortune for the title of a financial authority. They will not heed my command. Moreover, with only an hour and a half until the market closes, even if we were to bring in substantial funds now, it will be too late to reflect on the futures market." "What? What should we do then?" Gong Ziyuan asked, her voice laden with concern. "Are we to concede defeat?" "Do not panic," Chinamo replied, eyes closed, arms crossed. He calmly uttered 4 words, "Wait for the storm." At that moment, Gong Ziyuan fully grasped the meaning of the phrase, "The emperor is not anxious, but the eunuch is." She felt as though she might go mad. Wait longer? The market is about to close. Another half hour passed, and the price of Jiangbei watermelons had plummeted by 86, shattering the record set by the first financial authority. Fang Jin, in the futures market. Gong Xian, in a fit of despair, clutched her hair and murmured, "It's over, there's no hope." Meanwhile, Gong Ming had long ceased to pay attention to Chinemo. He gazed with admiration at Zhang Yaoyang and Jiang Ronghua, sighing, "I once thought that I was only a few billion behind the 2 wealthiest individuals in Jiangbei, and that the disparity in strength would not be significant. Now I see how naive I was. Such extraordinary methods are beyond our reach." Song Tsong, Wang Chun, and others had also disregarded Chinemo, their faces flushed with excitement as they looked at Jiang Ronghua and Zhang Yaoyang, feeling an exhilarating rush surging from their feet to their heads. Incredible. Absolutely remarkable. If I could one day possess the ability to shake the futures market with a mere jest, it would be worth it even if I were to perish. To command the elements. Is this the power of a financial authority? Jiang and Zhang are the true financial masters we should aspire to learn from and admire. A group of wealthy heirs, akin to fervent fans encountering their idols, was utterly thrilled. Gong Zili felt a wave of satisfaction wash over her. "Serves you right. You asked for it." Meanwhile, Song Siming and Wang Tai wore expressions of resignation. With only an hour left until the market closed, it mattered not if Chun Mo were the reincarnation of the White Dragon King, or even if the Grand Supreme Elder Lord descended to intervene. Even if he were to invest his entire fortune into the market now, it would be too late to impact the futures market. It's a loss. Song Siming shook his head with a bitter smile. "Mr. Chun has been overly ambitious." Van Thoi lamented. At that moment, Jiang Ronghua approached Chunamo once more and declared, "I see no need to waste any more time. The Golden Dragon Seal is mine." Smack! At the moment when Jiang Ronghua's hand rested upon the Golden Dragon Seal, Chinamo abruptly seized his wrist. "The market is about to close. Must you prolong our wait?" Jiang Ronghua exclaimed with indignation. Zhang Yaoyang stepped toward the window, gesturing toward the clear expanse of sky and bellowing, "With such a vast azure sky, devoid of wind or cloud, do you truly believe it will rain? Do you take me for mere child of 3? If you possess the ability, demonstrate it now." He was exasperated, lamenting his misfortune at encountering such a tedious charlatan. The audience below began to murmur amongst themselves, their dissatisfaction palpable after waiting all day. Just then, at precisely 2:22 in the afternoon, Chinamo suddenly opened his eyes, a subtle smile gracing his lips. "Very well, I shall summon the winds and rain before you," he declared. "Let the winds arise." Chapter 60, Summoning Winds and Rain. I am the Dragon King at precisely 2:22 in the afternoon on June 23rd. This moment would be forever etched in Chun Mo's memory. The residents of Jiangbei, who had endured this torrential downpour in history, would never forget it either. As Chun Mo calculated the time, he opened his eyes and bellowed, "Come, winds! Zhang Yaoyang and Jiang Ronghua burst into uproarious laughter. You've lost it. Do you really think you are the Dragon King? They mocked. Surely, you can't actually be expecting to summon winds and rain, can you? Just then, an unforeseen change occurred. The outside world was suddenly engulfed in darkness, as if heaven and earth had merged, rendering everything invisible. The ground seemed to have fallen into a deep slumber. In an instant, a fierce gale arose, kicking up dust, stones, withered leaves, and scraps of paper into the air, swirling like kites severed from their strings, tumbling erratically. The sturdy trees lining the road bent perilously at a near 45-degree angle under the force of the tempest. Many trees were uprooted by the violent winds. Vehicles on the road struggled to advance, requiring full throttle just to make any headway. A few unfortunate pedestrians were swept into the air by the hurricane, only to crash back down with a thud. Zhang Yaoyang and Jiang Ronghua's laughter froze, their mouths agape, eyes bulging in disbelief. This wind was far too uncanny. In mere seconds, it was as if the world was facing its end. Could it be that he truly can summon winds and rain? Zhang Yaoyang found himself wavering, a flicker of fear creeping into his gaze as he looked at Chen Mo. What are you panicking for? It's merely a coincidence. Jiang Ronghua gritted his teeth, insisting. Lightning flashed. Chen Mo roared once more, as if the very heavens responded to his command. Outside, where visibility was non-existent, brilliant white light surged forth. The lightning illuminated the surroundings brighter than daylight. Thunder rumbled, striking the earth with ferocity. The bolts seemed poised to cleave the ground in twain, followed by a cacophony of thunder, akin to the beating of war drums. Boom! Boom! Visible to the naked eye, hundreds, even thousands of bolts of lightning rained down upon the earth. Numerous trees were felled, ignited by the terrifying lightning, summoning winds and rain. It must be summoning winds and rain. Zhang Yaoyang trembled as he looked at Chen Mo. His previous bravado vanished. The calamity outside was simply too terrifying. Coupled with Chen Mo's earlier preparations, doubt had infiltrated Zhang Yaoyang's heart. Almost everyone present mirrored Zhang Yaoyang's reaction, their eyes wide with terror as they gazed at Chen Mo. In that moment, the worldviews of all the prominent figures were in upheaval, collapsing before their very eyes. Everyone pondered, could it be that Chen Mo is truly the reincarnation of the White Dragon King? What are you shouting for? Even if it rains, how much could it possibly pour? It won't affect our short selling of watermelons. He scoffed. He's merely trying to scare you. Coward! Jiang Ronghua seized Zhang Yaoyang by the collar and slapped him hard, all the while bolstering his own courage. Chen Mo rose and walked to the window, his hands clasped behind his back, gazing at the sky at a 45-degree angle, as if murmuring to himself. How could the Dragon King speak lightly? Then, with his right hand pointed skyward, he bellowed. Rain, fall. Thunder rumbled, accompanied by resounding flashes of lightning and thunder. A torrential downpour descended upon the world like a heavy shroud. Within mere seconds, the terrifying deluge shook the hearts of all present. It was utterly fearsome. The rain cascaded down like a waterfall pouring from the inverted abyss of the nine hells. The darkened sky seemed poised to collapse. What could no longer be referred to as rain was, in truth, akin to the Milky Way being pierced by a gaping hole. Just a few minutes later, the streets outside were inundated, the water rising to the waist of an adult. After another 5 minutes, Jiangbei appeared to transform into a vast aquatic city. Numerous vehicles were submerged within the deluge. The wind chased the rain urged on the wind, and together they pursued the ominous clouds above, enveloping the entire realm in a watery embrace. Silence, an eerie stillness. In this moment, apart from the sounds of wind and rain, no other noise could be heard. All eyes were fixed on Chen Mo, their astonishment reaching unparalleled heights, calling forth the winds and summoning the rains. It was truly a manifestation of such power. Everyone vowed they had never witnessed such a terrifying rainfall in their lives. Zhang Yaoyang and Jiang Ronghua stood dumbfounded, unable to comprehend that a mere jest had materialized into reality. Gong Ming, however, was a portrait of turmoil disbelief etched upon his face. Rationally, he could not fathom that the chaos outside was conjured by Chun'emo. Yet, glancing at the ravaged Jiangbei, he found himself compelled to accept the impossible. Could it be he truly was the reincarnation of the White Dragon King? In this moment, Gongming found himself ensnared in an unprecedented crisis of self-doubt. Decades of worldview crumbled before him. Wang Chun, Song Tsong, Gong Zili, and their affluent companions all felt their principles shattered. All notions of materialism and atheism vanished into thin air at that instant. Chun'emo feigned calculation, muttering incantations under his breath, though in truth, he was merely scraping dirt from under his nails. Quick, turn on the television. Song Siming seemed to realize something, urgently instructing the staff. The large screen on site illuminated, projecting the Jiangbei news channel. Emergency announcement. Emergency announcement. According to the notice issued by the Jiangbei Meteorological Station, Jiangbei has encountered an unprecedented catastrophic rainfall at 2:22 p.m. today. Experts predict that this rainfall will exceed historical records by more than 5 times. Breaking news. Our station's reporter has sent the latest updates from the front lines. Due to the catastrophic rainfall and surging water levels, compounded by the dilapidated state of the Jiangbei Dam, it has unfortunately collapsed. Latest report. The surge in rainfall has triggered mudslides, flash floods, and various natural disasters. The farmlands downstream have been entirely submerged and destroyed, with the Jiangbei watermelon production base being the first to suffer. Boom! News poured in like relentless blows, striking hard at the heads of Zhang Yaoyong and Jiang Ronghua. At that moment, their phones incessantly chimed. Hello, Mr. Jiang, it's bad news. 13 warehouses, including number 1, no, 5, and number 8, have been swept away by floods. The anticipated loss of watermelon stock is estimated to reach 30,000 tons. Hello, Mr. Zhang, it's dire. Over 30 warehouses, including number 15 and number 26, have been completely submerged. All the watermelons have floated away and been destroyed. The expected loss is 7,000 tons. Spare no effort. We must save the remaining warehouses. Jiang Ronghua bellowed. Mr. Jiang, that's impossible in this weather. Going out to salvage the warehouses is akin to courting death. I'll pay more. I'll pay 10 times the amount. Quickly, find someone to salvage them. Even if you offered 100 times the money, no one would go. People have already been swept away by the flood. Lives are more important than your watermelons. Beep, 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 the call ended abruptly, leaving Zhang Yaoyong and Jiang Ronghua with a chilling sense of despair. They understood that all the watermelons were beyond saving. A torrential rain had ravaged the melon fields, destroyed the warehouses, and shattered their dreams of becoming influential figures in Jiangbei's financial realm. Gentlemen, how do you find my ability to summon the winds and rain? Chun'emo inquired with a serene smile, hands clasped behind his back. Don't celebrate too soon. Jiang Ronghua retorted through gritted teeth. The market doesn't react that swiftly. There's still 10 minutes until the close. We haven't lost yet. Chapter 61. Collision with the Dragon King. Family ruin, it has surged. The Jiangbei watermelon has surged. As soon as Jiang Ronghua's words fell, a gasp echoed through the room. On Chun Mo's computer screen, the price representing the Jiangbei watermelon futures soared almost vertically, escalating wildly. In a mere 3 minutes, the price, which had recently plummeted by 85, had returned to its normal levels. Just a slight further increase would elevate Chun'emo to a position of influence. It was over. Jiang Ronghua felt as if his heart had plunged into an icy abyss, an unrelenting chill enveloping him. Anyone with a semblance of intelligence could foresee the outcome. Presently, all the watermelon fields and storage facilities in Jiangbei had been devastated by the floods. To restore normal supply and demand would require at least another year. In the coming 3 months, the price of Jiangbei watermelons would shatter historical records, reaching an unfathomable peak. Mr. Jiang, the real spectacle has only just begun. Chun'emo remarked with a faint smile. As soon as his words concluded, the Jiangbei watermelon futures surged once more. By 30, 50, 80, 100, within a mere 10 minutes. It had doubled in value. Everyone was left in astonishment. No one had ever witnessed a futures contract rise in such a manner as the Jiangbei watermelon. Had anyone believed Chen Mo's assertions earlier and leveraged their entire wealth to go long, the position of Jiangbei's wealthiest individual might have changed hands. What is doubling? I, Chen Mo, desire to go long. It must grant me a quintuple increase, Chen Mo declared boldly. His commanding voice rendered the audience speechless, their nerves fraying. To go long and demand a five-fold increase. Was this not manipulation of the futures market, verging on control of the national treasury? 150, 200, 260, 300, 480, 520. By the time the market closed, the Jiangbei watermelon futures had skyrocketed over five-fold. Such a terrifying surge left all financial professionals in attendance utterly speechless. Everyone exchanged incredulous glances, as if witnessing a fantastical tale enveloped by a surreal nightmare. Chen Mo, with hands clasped behind his back, approached the golden dragon seal and calmly asked, "Is there anyone who dares to dissent?" The room fell into a profound silence. Whether it was the magnates on the platform or the financial experts below, none dared to utter a word. To summon storms and devastate watermelon fields? To wield mystical powers over the futures market? Could such feats truly be accomplished by mere mortals? Especially when Chen Mo demonstrated his dominion. Their very souls trembled. In this moment, Lan Yuner and others stared in disbelief, their mouths agape. Gong Ziyuan covered her mouth in astonishment, gazing up at the stage in awe. Gong Zili's heart quivered, her complexion pale as she realized how profoundly mistaken her previous judgments had been. Her understanding had been that of a frog confined to a well. Jiang Ronghua and Zhang Yaoyang, overwhelmed, collapsed onto the ground, engulfed by despair. Short selling comes at a price. Chen Mo's long position did not require him to spend a single penny on purchasing futures. However, these two individuals, in their quest to short sell and manipulate prices, entered into an agreement with the watermelon farmers. Should the price of watermelons rise, they would be responsible for covering the price difference. Now, with the destruction of 300,000 tons of watermelons, the price has surged more than fivefold, and the resulting difference could lead to their financial ruin. Wang Tai and Song Siming felt an exhilarating sense of triumph, laughing heartily as their previous
Yo, what's going on, Amadeus? How you doing today? Home skillet? Well, what's a skillet? I'm not sure what a skillet is. Home skillet. Oh, dang, he's really running up ahead. Okay, I get you. Yeah, I've heard of the band skillet, but I've never heard of a skillet. No, I don't want that claw. I wanted the money. Money. Okay. Nah, I get you. Yeah, I cook a little bit, but I don't do a lot of cooking, so it's understandable why I didn't know what it was. should hit 60 with this dungeon, thanks to this person who has the 300 XP plus 300% XP boost. That's cool. So then I'll be able to head to the Badlands. I mean, not the Badlands, Outlands. Ooh. Oh shit. I forgot I didn't have the headphones on. So it's probably the sound is probably echoing. No, come on, wait. Not going to attack, but what the heck is? Badlands for a bad man. Batman. Yeah, I'm gonna be headed over to Badlands just now. Well, after this, I'll head over to Badlands. The Badlands, it's kind of like a region that's half destroyed, and there's a portal there that I need to take in order to get to the Outlands. Okay, come on, move away, stupid achievement. Ugh. Okay, nice. Let's grab these down here. Oh, no, it's a claw. I didn't want the claw, I want the money. Give me money. No. Alright, let's head out. I did not. Nah. I got a similar one, but the one that I wanted, it wasn't there, and I've been searching every single time I go on. I would search, and I have not seen it yet. But it sucks. It sucks that no one's putting it up, because I have it on one of my characters, because I have two characters. Well, I've got two characters on the same server, and I have it on one of my character, but I can't get it on my main character. I can't find it on my main character, which sucks. Before, I want to say maybe like 2 months ago or something like that, if you had it on one character, it'll show up on it'll show up in the second character's saloon. No, so what happened is cosmetics, right? The cosmetic clothes and stuff like that. If you have well, before not right now, before, if you had a cosmetic piece of cosmetic, then all of your characters on that server, when you go to the saloon, will have the cosmetic there. But a couple months ago, they did some changes to like the saloon and stuff like that. So now you need, so if you have it on one character, it does not share with all of the other characters on that same server. You need to get the same item twice in order for it to in order for you to get it on all the characters on the same server. You need to purchase it twice and use it twice, because if you use it once, it only use on that character, but if you use it twice, then it gets shared out with all the characters on the same server. So months ago, that's how it used to be, but nowadays they change it so that whole now they changed it that whole no. I was backwards just now. I was backwards. So if you had it once, it'll share. But nowadays you have to buy it twice in order for it to get the share, which sucks. And I wish I had known that they're going to do that change, but I did not. I didn't see the update notice that they were going to change it, so I didn't purchase it. I didn't purchase the second one in time, which sucks. I think I could pull up a picture of it. I will. Well, it probably won't show very well. Camera. Where? Okay, it's not. There it is. I probably wouldn't show up well. So this right here, this blue one, this is the one I'm trying to get. It's blurry. That's the one I'm trying to get, and I cannot find it on the market, which sucks. It sucks because I had particular setups, like certain cosmetic setups that I would use for particular classes and stuff like that. And now that they went and changed it, so you need to purchase the same thing twice and use it in order for it to share with all characters on the server. A whole bunch of the cosmetics that I purchased on one character doesn't work on the other one now, which sucks. It sucks so bad. Okay, let's see. Yeah, later today when I get on, I'm gonna again check to see. Okay. Oh, okay. So I got mixed up. It's not called the Badlands. It's called the Blasted Lands. The Badlands is over here in where is it at? Where is the Badlands? Badlands right here. Okay. Okay. So the Badlands is right here. So this is called the Blasted Lands, and it's basically like this huge crater that was formed when this portal was created. And the orcs, these people over here, these guys invaded the world coming through this portal from their side. So now we're heading over to their side of we're heading over to their old world. So I don't know if you know much about Warcraft lore, but this world, the world as we know it, Azeroth was. Whew, damn, stupid fly trying to go up my nose. This world as we know it, Azeroth, was mainly a human. Okay, so it had all the races before, except for the orcs. The orcs was not a part of this world. Ooh, the orcs and the Draenor, they were not a part of this world before. But years ago, I can't remember how long ago. Years ago, these orcs from their world wanted to conquer other worlds because they were, they made a pact with this demon over here. You can't see because of the camera. My fault. Okay, so the orcs and them, they made a pact with a demon that was a world conqueror and stuff like that. So he ordered them to create a portal which would take them over to New World, because their world was they had basically already taken control of their world, and they wanted to conquer the other world, so they created a portal to Azeroth. And when they created the portal and came over to Azeroth, this is the portal that they came through, and they started a war with the human race and stuff like that. And over time, they were defeated, pushed back and defeated, and they basically turned on the people who they were enslaved to. They basically turned against them, and no longer wanted to be controlled by them. So after they helped defeat the Burning Legion, that's what they call. After they helped to defeat the Burning Legion and send them back through the portal, they basically was still not welcome. It was by the human race. They was not welcome by the human race. So they broke it away, because there was a huge war between the humans and stuff like that. They wanted to conquer this world. So they broke off and created their own faction, which was the Horde. And eventually all of the weird races, the orcs, the trolls, the undead, the Taurens, which are the cow people, and the blood elves, who they were not welcome among the other races, because they basically had this lust for mana, and they would do anything to get that, to get more mana and stuff like that. They would sacrifice lives and stuff like that to get more mana. They had like this it was like a drug to them. So that's when they the Horde and them created that faction and stuff like that. But recently in the lore, the gateway reopened, the portal reopened, and the Burning Legion started coming through again. So the human and the Horde decided to postpone their war with each other in order to venture into venture through the portal again to fight against the Burning Legion there, because the Burning Legion is way more of a risk than either forces. So they both understand that, so that's why they're temporarily working together to defeat the Burning Legion. And that's why right here there's this place right here where both the Alliance and the Horde are stationed outside of the portal, and there's the human race, the human Alliance, and the Horde orcs. And now we're heading over to the Outlands, which was the orcs' home world before they invaded this one. So yeah, that's where I'm heading right now. Like the lore is massive. There's a massive lore to this thing. So over here, as you can see, the map does not look normal. Like over here, when you look at the map, you can see yeah, something like that. So the druid class has the ability to shapeshift into like animals and stuff like that. The bear, the tiger, this cheetah for running. This cheetah is specifically for running. It increases your movement speed, your run speed, so you can get to places 40% faster. Then they have the fish form, which is for swimming. It allows you to breathe underwater and swim at a much faster speed. And then they have this moonkin form. So it's basically like it has like bear features, it has a bird features, it got deer features. It's like a hybrid of different, like a whole bunch of different animals and stuff like that. And they're called moonkins. So yeah, this right here is the magic form. So in this form, all magic and stuff like that is increased by a certain amount of percentage, by 40%. No, that's armor. Ooh. Well, it increases the spell power by a certain amount. So let's okay. So yeah, it increases it by 40%. It increases the spell speed by spell strength by 40%, spell damage by 40%, and then they have one other form which it looks like a tree. It looks like this. They have another shapeshift form. Mm, 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 mm. So they have another shapeshift form. Dang it. Yeah, it's kind of being blocked right now. So they have this shapeshift form where it looks like a tree, and this tree is specifically a healer. This is the healing tree. So this is basically like when you're playing the healing class, you would get this form, which would increase the amount of healing done. But yeah, this tree form does increase the amount of healing done and stuff like that. I can't really. But yeah, this is the magic form. The tree is the healing form. The cat is the attacking form. The bear is the tank. And these two are just travel forms. One for swimming in water, and the other one is for increasing run speed. So yeah, it's a pretty cool class. The druid. Oh yeah, so as I was saying, this world looks a bit different. You might notice it looks a bit different. So in this world right here, you have basically you have the island, this big island right here, which is the Eastern Kingdom, and then you have water that's surrounded. But over here in Outlands, you have this island right here, but around it there's no water. This is basically floating. This is basically floating in space, and the reason why you can see, like, if you see like the size of it right here, you can see like it looked like a cliff, but it's not a cliff. They're basically floating islands, and the reason why they look like this, and even if I were to go to the edge of the map, um, even if I were even if I were to go to the edges of the map, you'll see that it's basically an endless drop. There's nothing here. There is nothing, absolutely nothing on these ends right here. And the reason why is because this world right here, this place, used to be a world. It used to have water and stuff like that. But because when the orcs started creating portals in order to invade other worlds, they created a bunch of portals. I mean, hundreds of portals, and all of these portals basically went out of control, and they tear the entire world apart. So now there's just these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's just these 7 pieces of island, um, from the world just floating in space now, because the rest of the world was torn apart.
For the Alliance. What's on your mind? Safe travels.
Safe travels. Keep your feet on the ground. Okay, I'll be right back. Give me 5 minutes. I need to go sweep the hallway, the living room, and the kitchen real quick. So I'll be back in a little bit.
waste my time, lesser creature.
Okay, I am back. Sorry about that. I just had to get that sweeping out of the way, so that way I can keep streaming up. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. Gotta turn this in. Oh, wait. Gotta talk to this guy first.
Well met. Go with honor, friend.
Oof. Oh, you know what? Now that I hit 60. It's a bit hot. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, 70 is the max, but do I want to do this? Do I want to? No, I'll save it. I'll save it. Oh, oof. I want to level up a tank because for some reason tanks are very they're very low amount of tanks right now. So I'm gonna do a little bit of tank leveling. Okay, so I need to get to 20 if I want to get that thingy. If I want to get anger management, I need to get to 20. Generates 2 rage per 3 seconds and increase the amount of rage generated by your charge ability by 5. Also, is overwhelming on a free pick server, or is it just an exclusive wildcard server? Because I need to get that as well, so it increases my the amount of rage I have. Mm-hmm. Do I want to level a regular tank, or do I want to level a thunder tank? The difference between the thunder tank and this one is that I will not be able to choose the skills I want, so I won't be able to get the anger management because it'll do it itself. Mm. They got the cat. Let's draft build. No, draft. And I got a lot of draft builds. What else did you have around level 30 on 11? Let's see. I have. What do I have at around 30? I know Ninja is 28, but I'm not really. I don't want to level it right now. I have Samurai at 27, I believe. I have Samurai around 27. I have. Damn, I don't know. I don't know exactly what I have at 27, but I know I have a couple that's close to not 20. I have a couple that's close to 30. I don't know like which one is like, because I have a bunch that's like all over the place. What do I? The only thing I think of is Ninja at 28, Samurai at 27, um, Beastman at 25. I have did a Black Mage Burn. Yeah, I have done a Black Mage Burn a few times. In order to like do a Black Mage Burn, you'll need 2 summoners, and the rest of them will be Black Mages. The rest of them would be Black Mages. So 4 Black Mage and 2 summoners. But the Black Mages will need to have Ninja Sub in order to lessen up the amount of hits that you would take. It's a pretty interesting play style. Fills you with the holy. Okay. It is a pretty interesting play style. Oh, this is hardcore. I forgot this is hardcore, so I can't do dungeon runs. Damn. So on this character right here, I'm playing a hardcore mode, and I cannot do dungeons on this. I can only do dungeons with other people who are doing dungeons. I mean, other people who are playing hardcore, and I can't use the dungeon finder. I have to actually go to the physical dungeon entrance in order to do it. Oof! I forgot that I was playing this hardcore. I forgot that this character was hardcore. Looks fun and chill. It is fun. I wouldn't say chill, because you have to always be on the lookout for whether or not because what happened is the 2 summoners will need to do a magic burst, and then the other Black Mages will need to magic burst the magic burst that they do. No, they have to do a skill chain, right? And the Black Mages have to magic burn off the skill chain, but sometimes the summoners would miss, and when they miss, when their attack miss, you have to sleep the mob, but your sleep spell doesn't always hit, so you'll have to, so like the other Black Mages will have to sleep it as well. Yeah, it all depends on the magic burst that you're doing. Like the first one I ever did was the first magic burst I was ever a part of. I was the summoner, and we was doing the fusion burst with 2 Ifrits. The second one I did the second mana burn party that I was a part of. I was a Black Mage, and we were doing a water magic burst. So they were using, I think it was Leviathan and Shiva or I can't remember who, I can't remember which mods which summoners they were using, but we was doing a water magic burst, and then the third one that I was a part of, I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that was also a water ice magic burst. Yeah, I think the third one I was a part of. It was the magic burst where you can use either ice, air, or water. Probably was. I can't remember. I'm gonna say it's like a month ago or something like that. But the magic burn parties, like it's not easy to get invited to a magic burn party. The 2 out of the 3 magic burn parties that I was a part of, I had to create myself. I had to create the magic burn party myself. So you either have to create it, or you have to wait like a very long time in order to get invited. Because I remember when I got invited to a magic burn party, it was a long ass wait. Like I was watching something on the side. I was watching a video on the side, but it was a long ass wait in order to get that magic burn party. I know. Hold on, let me check something real quick. So it's so funny. I have more level 70 characters on the on this server than I do on the free to pick one, because in this server right here, it's a random shuffle skill server. But I have more max level characters on this server, which it's kind of funny. Oh, what you doing down here? Supposed to be up here with the other level 70s. 70. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 level 70s. And he's 4 that hasn't gotten to level 70 yet. But this one right here, I'm probably gonna delete this character right here, because I have another one that's the same build. The only difference between this one and this one is that this one I was able to get a skill that I want on this one, but I couldn't get it because the random shuffle was it was a very low percent chance to get the random shuffle. But with this one, I was able to get it because I had a free skill card guarantee spot. So I might be deleting this one. I'm not exactly sure. So this is supposed to be a tank and another healer. I got a good bit of healers here. So that's a DPS. That's a healer. DPS. 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 Healer. DPS. Healer. This is gonna be deleted, which is a healer. No, wait. This is not a DPS. This is a healer. Healer and healer. Yeah. This is also a healer, but it's gonna get deleted. And then this is a tank. This is the only tank I have on this server, and it's only at 12. Do I want to play it? Let me see something real quick. Let me see something. Are these skills that I'm using, are they mana base or are they rage base? Because depending on if they were mana base or rage base, I might be able to do something. I might be able to level it up, but the problem is the armor. Let's see. So this is okay. That's nothing. That's mana, rage, mana. That's free timer. That's rage. Okay, so that's a rage. Okay, and I got 400 rage on this one. So I got overwhelm, and I got those. Okay, so I might be able to do this. So wait, is it? I don't know if leather or thing is better for this. Jeez, I don't know what. Let's see if we can get a couple levels out of this. For Azeroth. Can I have this? Okay, let's see. Let's see if we can get a party. Okay, I might have to switch these out for cloth armor. I'm not 100% sure. If I could find another person who's playing the same build, and I'll be able to know whether or not cloth armor is the best choice. I see a tank. There it is. Yeah, it says that cloth armor. Two-handed. Because the two-handed weapons are the best weapons, but in a transformation, the two-handed weapon is not really a thing. I might have to do cloth armor, but with intelligent. Yeah, I need a two-handed weapon. What was it again? 200 axe, 200 mace, and 200 sword. Let's go with the 200 mace, 200 add. Let's see. 200 axe. Okay. So I got 3 stamina on this one. I might go for this 3 stamina one. That's 5k. It's basically most of the gold that I have because I only have a tiny bit of gold that you can't see because of the screen. Hmm. Is it weapon mastery or master weapon? Okay, so it's dual. Oh shit. No. Is it so let's see.
frustrations dissipated. Chen Mo, the White Dragon King. No wonder you dared to look down upon me. Indeed, if I possessed your ability to command the winds and the rain, what would the wealth of the richest man in Jiangbai mean? Gong Ming, seated in contemplation, gazed at the handsome young man beside him, recalling their conversation on that day at his balcony. At the time, he regarded Chen Mo as arrogant. Now, it was apparent that he had vastly underestimated the White Dragon King. He realized that from this day forth, this young man would attain fame throughout Jiangbai and even the entire Jianghai province. As for Gong Ming, he would find it increasingly difficult to keep up. Standing on a platform, Chen Mo held the Golden Dragon Seal, his expression devoid of joy or sorrow. To others, the former richest man Jiang Ronghua and his predecessor Zhang Yaoyang shone like celestial dragons in the sky. Yet to Chen Mo, they were merely insignificant ants that could be easily crushed with a bit of effort. He possessed numerous strategies from his previous life for acquiring immense wealth. When the opportunity arose, hundreds of billions, even thousands of billions or tens of trillions would be beneath his notice. From the very beginning, his sights were set on becoming the richest man in the world, not merely on the trifling land of Jiangbai. Holding the Golden Dragon Seal, Chen Mo proclaimed, "I, Chen Mo, today inherit the Golden Dragon Seal and ascend to the throne of financial authority. Do all present acquiesce?" He first turned his gaze toward Jiang Ronghua and Zhang Yaoyang. Zhang Yaoyang, already devoid of ambition, forced a bitter smile and declared, "I, Zhang Yaoyang, yield." In contrast, Jiang Ronghua seemed to have resigned himself to fate, refusing to bow his head. "Jiang Ronghua, I offer you a piece of advice. If you remain unconvinced after hearing it, I, Chen Mo, shall respect you as a man." With a calm demeanor, Chen Mo uttered, "Those who challenge the Dragon King face ruin." Jiang Ronghua, as if struck by lightning, suddenly recalled the scene of Chen Mo commanding the elements, as if descending from the heavens. He feared bankruptcy, but the thought of total ruin was far more terrifying. Unable to contain his fear any longer, Jiang Ronghua collapsed to the ground, trembling. "Dragon King, spare me. It was I who offended you. Let everything fall upon my shoulders." "I concede." Chen Mo nodded in satisfaction, then turned his gaze toward Gong Ming. After much hesitation, Gong Ming finally sighed deeply, rising slowly to address Chen Mo with respect. "Mr. Chen, your extraordinary abilities and financial prowess are beyond comprehension. From this day forth, the financial circle in Jiangbai shall follow your lead without question." Upon hearing this, Bald Nan was the first to leap up in excitement, exclaiming, "Hail the Dragon King! Hail the Dragon King! Hail the Dragon King! Hail the Dragon King!" As the distinguished figures rose one after another, each feared that a delay might lead to an inadvertent affront to the Dragon King. Having witnessed Chen Mo summon the winds and rain, who could doubt his identity as the White Dragon King? Thus, none dared to challenge him, fearful of financial ruin and devastation. The richest man in Jiangbai, capable of wielding unimaginable celestial powers to manipulate finance, commanded the respect and submission of all as the arbiter of financial matters. The numerous second-generation wealthy individuals watched in awe as the titans of the Jiangbai financial circle bowed and scraped before their contemporary, realizing that they would likely never experience a day as remarkable as this. Such was the stature of a true man of valor. Many sighed deeply, aware that from this day forth, the voice that would resonate throughout the Jiangbai financial realm would be none other than that of the White Dragon King. The Summit of the Richest has concluded successfully. Please proceed to the banquet hall to celebrate our financial arbiter. Song Siming declared with resounding clarity. Soon, everyone made their way to the banquet hall, including Song Tsong and others, who approached with trepidation. Previously, they had mocked Chen Mo, yet now he had ascended to the role of financial arbiter. Surely, he would not treat them kindly. Before long, Gong Ziyuan took Chen Mo's arm, and they began to toast table by table. "Mr. Chen, congratulations. That last confrontation was executed with exquisite finesse. Mr. Chen, should you ever require our assistance, do not hesitate to call." The room was filled with voices, some sincere compliments, others mere flattery. Chen Mo raised his glass, moving from one table to another, Even titans like Song Siming and Wang Tai were compelled to rise and empty their cups in his honor. Wang Chun could only watch in astonishment as Chun Mo abstained from drinking, merely raising his hand in acknowledgement, while those of higher status than his father eagerly downed their drinks, as if such actions were necessary to demonstrate their reverence for the White Dragon King. At last, Chun Mo reached the table of Wang Chun and Song Kong. Mr. Chun, allow me to introduce my nephew, Wang Chun. Mr. Chun, this is my nephew, Song Sung. Wang Tai and Song Siming said with forced smiles, having come personally to curry favor with Chun Mo. Both men, lacking sons of their own, had taken these nephews as potential heirs to nurture. Greetings, sir. The two awkwardly stood, their faces flushed, heads bowed, their voices barely above a whisper. With such esteemed gentlemen before me, I, Chun, cannot presume to ascend. Chun Mo replied nonchalantly, then turned away with a flick of the sleeve. In an instant, Wang Chun and Song Song felt as though they had lost their last hope, trembling in fear on the verge of tears. What mischief have you two gotten into? Wang Tai and Song Siming glared at them with gritted teeth, their fury palpable. Chapter 62. At the pinnacle of the world, the two felt a tremor of anxiety. Hesitant to conceal anything, they stammered through the events that had transpired. Wang Tai and Song Siming were nearly driven to despair. They could never have anticipated that the originally flawless billionaire conference would encounter issues due to these two reckless youths. Come with me to apologize to Mr. Chun. Meanwhile, Chun Mo paid no heed to them, continuing to toast his way around the room. The previously audacious second-generation tycoons who had flaunted their power before him were now rendered mute, afraid to utter a sound. As Chun Mo raised his glass, they hurriedly downed their drinks, fearing that any delay would draw his attention. At that moment, Chu Tian's heart seethed with fury. Just moments ago, Chun Mo had passed by without even casting a glance in his direction, completely disregarding him. In your eyes, am I, Chu Tian, nothing more than an inconsequential passerby, unworthy of your attention? Chu Tian clenched his fists, his teeth grinding in frustration. My submission to you today does not signify fear. The tides will turn. One day, I shall stand over you. That day will arrive soon. Once I consume the Gong family and ascend as the wealthiest in Jiangbei, what will you amount to? What Chu Tian pondered was of no concern to Chun Mo. If such a trivial figure could stir even a hint of disturbance within him, how could he ever aspire to be the world's richest? As he continued his toasts, Chun Mo ultimately arrived at the table of Gong Ming and Gong Zili. He cast a glance at Zhang Ning and Wu Junfan beside Gong, immediately ducked his head like an ostrich, wishing to vanish into the ground. Meanwhile, the tall Wu Junfan, towering at over 6 feet, shrank back, feeling acutely awkward. Both of them fervently hoped that Chun Mo would not turn his ire towards them, especially upon witnessing the two esteemed figures, Song Siming and Wang Tai, now bowing and attending to Chun Mo as if they were eunuchs serving an emperor. Chun Mo, however, paid them little mind, instead focusing on Gong Ming. Gong Ming rose, his expression a complex tapestry of emotions, holding his glass in silence. His slightly murky eyes fixed upon Chun Mo, flashing with myriad feelings, shock, confusion, and unwillingness, until all emotions coalesced into profound regret. Chun Mo smiled and addressed him. Mr. Gong, I previously claimed I would surpass your wealth within a month, and I have accomplished that. Now, I must ask you, will you still obstruct my desire to be with Ziyuan? Gong Ming's hand trembled. After a long pause, he finally sighed. Ziyuan's judgment surpasses mine. After a moment's contemplation, Chun Mo continued. Uncle Gong, since you acknowledge me as Ziyuan's boyfriend, I feel compelled to offer you a word of caution. In investments, do not place your trust too readily in anyone, especially those who seem to be close to you. Upon hearing these words, the smile faded from Gong Ming's face, replaced by anger and a shadowed expression. He naturally understood that Chun Mo was referring to Chu Tian. In his company's investment department, Chu Tian had successfully undertaken numerous profitable projects over the past 3 years, demonstrating unwavering diligence without a single misstep. Are you instructing me? Gong Ming retorted coldly. It is not an instruction, merely a reminder. Chun Mo replied nonchalantly. Indeed, your wealth surpasses mine. However, I, Gong Ming, have navigated the business world for decades, encountering more individuals than you have consumed salt. Do you truly think it appropriate to remind me? Gong Ming's voice dripped with frost. Human nature is inscrutable. How can you be certain that you will not face failure? Caution ensures longevity. The individuals I, Gong Ming, select are all exceptionally talented. There is no possibility of failure. Mr. Chun, I have finished my drink. You may take your leave. Chun Mo shook his head in resignation. The conversation had reached a point of no return, and he wished to say no more. For reasons unknown, when Chun Mo expressed his desire to be with Gong Ziyuan, Gong Zili felt an inexplicable heaviness in her heart, akin to a large stone lodged within. Seizing the opportunity created by the argument between Chun Mo and Gong Ming, she rose abruptly, pointing at Chun Mo. Chun Mo, if you wish to be with my sister, you must show her some respect. This is my father, your elder. Do you understand? Chun Mo cast a surprised glance at Gong Zili and then smirked. Mr. Gong, is this not also your daughter? Oh, what a lovely young lady. Just look at that nose and those eyes. As he spoke, Chun Mo playfully distorted Gong Zili's face, lifting her nose to resemble that of a pig. Call me Uncle Chun, and I shall give you a red envelope to buy adult diapers, so you won't scare primary school students again. You scoundrel. Chun Mo, I will not let this go. I will surely take my revenge. Just wait. Gong Zili's face flushed a mix of red and white with fury. All right, Mo Gu, Zili is sensitive. Do not tease her. Gong Ziyuan admonished playfully. Ha ha, a little teasing helps children grow. With that, Chun Mo took Gong Ziyuan's hand and departed. At that moment, tears of grievance unexpectedly welled in Gong Zili's eyes, though she could not fathom why. Chun Mo's comment about her being a child ignited her anger. Revenge. I must have my revenge. I will make you regret crossing me. Gong Zili's heart screamed in turmoil. After a round of toasts, Chun Mo and Gong Ziyuan settled at a separate large table. You insolent fools, come here. At that moment, Song Siming and Wang Tai approached, dragging Song Tsong and Wang Chen along. Both Song Tsong and Wang Chen's faces were flushed with embarrassment as they obediently approached, only to be slapped across the face by Wang Tai and Song Siming. Yet they dared not retaliate. Apologize to Mr. Chun at once. Under the pressure from Wang Tai and Song Siming, Song Tsong and Wang Chun lowered their heads and murmured, Mr. Chun, we are sorry. We failed to recognize your stature earlier. Their heads bowed. They felt extreme indignation. Given their status, they had never before debased themselves in such a manner before their peers. Chun Mo took a sip of his drink, his gaze calm as he regarded the two. Do you both recall what I said previously? What did you say? They both looked astonished. I said, I shall grant you one last opportunity. If you kneel and apologize, I shall spare you. Instantly, the expressions of Song Tsong and Wang Chun changed dramatically. Chun Mo, do not overstep your bounds. We have already offered our apologies. I would only kneel upon my demise. Upon hearing this, Wang Tai, unable to maintain his composure, forced a smile and said, Mr. Chun, these are mere children, lacking understanding. Please show them mercy. Mercy? I am their salvation. Have you forgotten the calamity that befalls those who offend the Dragon King, leading to ruin and despair? Chen Montak retorted coldly. Wang Tai and Song Siming trembled, succumbing to contemplation. Wang Chun, growing impatient, shouted, Chun, what makes you so arrogant? Your position as a decision-maker is merely a consequence of the support from my uncle and Uncle Song. Song Tsong added, without the Wang and Song families, who are you? At these words, the previously silent Wang Tai and Song Siming's expressions shifted alarmingly. Kneel! Wang Tai and Song Siming acted simultaneously, forcefully toppling the two to the ground. Immediately, they bowed and apologized to the Dragon King, despite their immense reluctance. Under the pressure from Wang Tai and Song Siming, they had no choice but to kneel and humbly offer their apologies. Wang Tai, Song Siming, do you also believe my position as a decision-maker is solely due to your support? Chun Mo asked with an indifferent gaze. Not all. It is your own capability. Mr. Chun Mo rose, turning to gaze out the floor-to-ceiling window at the myriad lights of Jiangbei, akin to a celestial being surveying the mortal realm. Allow me to clarify something as well. From the very beginning, my focus has never been on this trivial piece of land known as Jiangbei. My ambition is to stand atop the pinnacle of the world. Wang Tai and Song Simon shuddered, raising their eyes to Chun Mo's silhouette, feeling as though his figure was expanding infinitely, resembling a colossus. From this day forth, it seems that no one in Jiangbei shall be able to overshadow him. The two sighed deeply within. Chapter 63. Establishing a company that evening, Gong Ziyuan drove Chun Mo home. Along the way, Chun Mo could not restrain himself and said, "Ziyuan, why don't you resign and work with me? I am in need of a secretary. After all this, you want me to be just a secretary?" Gong Ziyuan feigned annoyance. Well, their essay saying, when their S work, the secretary is busy. When their S none, they're idle. As he spoke, Chun Mo gazed at Gong Ziyuan with a smile. "What do you mean by idle?" Gong Ziyuan furrowed her brows at Chun Mo, only to realize suddenly, her expression shifting to playful indignation. How annoying. Chun Mo chuckled, feeling a bit stifled, and slightly opened the car window, only to be met by a gust of wind rushing into the vehicle. It has stopped raining for so long. Why is the wind still so strong? Chun Mo grumbled as he adjusted his tousled hair. Empty talk brings forth wind. Gong Ziyuan suddenly interjected with a proverb. Chun Mo turned to her, puzzled, and found her stifling laughter, which she eventually could no longer contain, bursting into hearty laughter. It dawned on Chun Mo then, what happened to your goddess image? Ruined, completely destroyed. This is what they call one is influenced by their surroundings. Spending every day with you, I might end up becoming a silly girl. The billionaire conference concluded perfectly with Chun Mo being appointed as the new financial decision-maker. The astonishing fluctuations of Jiangbei watermelon in the Jiangbei futures market, first plummeting and then skyrocketing, drew the attention of the authorities. Futures with weak risk resistance, including Jiangbei watermelon, were all delisted. On the day of the billionaire contest, all funds invested in Jiangbei watermelon were refunded to the buyers' accounts, rendering the transactions void. Following Chun Mo's request, Gong Ziyuan resigned and earnestly took on the role of Chun Mo's personal secretary and seasoned driver. Chun Mo purchased a villa in the city center to temporarily serve as an office. One day, he summoned Chui Nan to the office. "Mr. Chun, you called for me?" Chui Nan politely bowed as he stood before Chun Mo. "There's no need for formalities. Please sit." After a brief pause, Chun Mo got straight to the point. "In the near future, I will be establishing my own company, and I wish to hire you as the head of the security department, with an annual salary of 10 million. Chui Nan frowned. "Mr. Chun, you know I'm accustomed to freedom." Though Chui Nan was not a magnate, he could certainly earn $1 million a year. "I don't need you to come to the office. Just send your subordinates to assist me when necessary. And you can help solve any troublesome issues," Chun Mo clarified. "That is not a problem." Chui Nan readily agreed, happy to grow closer to Chun Mo, listening attentively. Chun Mo's expression turned serious. "Chui Nan, I need you to help me establish an intelligence network to gather the information I require." Despite possessing memories from his past life as a trump card, Chun Mo knew he could not know everything. Now, his persona as the White Dragon King had greatly aided him, allowing him to navigate the business world and forge connections with fewer missteps. He must maintain this persona. Chui Nan found himself in a predicament. "I am indeed skilled in intelligence gathering, but it requires an immense investment of manpower and resources. 100 million. Chun Mo extended a finger, exuding an air of authority. "I shall provide you with 100 million for a year. As long as you can gather the intelligence I require within that time frame, the remaining funds will be entirely yours." Chui Nan looked up at Chun Mo in astonishment, then fell into silence. The two men remained in a stalemate. Chun Mo casually sipped his coffee, noting its slight bitterness. Gong Ziyuan, tense beside him, dared not breathe. After all, Chui Nan was the foremost figure in the underworld of Jiangbei. His respect for Chun Mo stemmed entirely from Chun Mo's omniscient identity as the White Dragon King. Now, Chun Mo was asking for his assistance in intelligence gathering. Was this not exposing a vulnerability to Chui Nan? Gong Ziyuan glanced between Chui Nan and Chun Mo, several times on the verge of speaking, yet refraining. She feared disrupting Chun Mo's rhythm or provoking Chui Nan. After an indeterminate period, Chuanan finally spoke in a deep voice. Very well. I accept your proposal. Let our collaboration be fruitful. They exchanged smiles and shook hands. Once Chuanan departed, Gong Ziyuan hurriedly inquired, why would Chuanan choose to be your subordinate after realizing you are not omniscient? He has always been driven by self-interest. As long as you provide sufficient benefits, he would undertake anything. Chun Mo replied with a smile, if I offer him 100 million for a year, even if the world deems me a false dragon king, he would resolutely emerge, brandishing a blade to vanquish all. In the afternoon, Chun Mo called Song Siming. Brother Ming, I wish to register a company. Do you have any acquaintances in the administrative department who could expedite the process? Song Siming laughed heartily. No problem. Director Wang of the Business Bureau is my classmate. I will accompany you. With Song Siming's company, Chen Mo and Gong Ziyuan directly arrived at Director Wang's office.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Memes of the Week. The best thing you can do for this channel is beat that like button like it owes you money before watching this, so it reaches a wider audience. Also, before I get on with the memes, first a word from today's sponsor, the MGTOW Book Collection Part 2. Whether you're getting camel toe in Cambodia, banging babes in burqas in Turkey, or taking Polaroids of ladyboys in Thailand, Luca Vendetti has a series of books to make you live the dream. His new 3-booklet series includes How to Live on $500 a Month in Cambodia, Turkey, and Vietnam, in addition to his classic, How to Retire on $200K in Southeast Asia. He also has the MGTOW book. Visit MGTOWbooks.com and use the promo code SANDMAN to get 10% off. Now available in 4 formats, PDF, Mobi for Kindle, EPUB, and text-to-speech MP3. Sponsor link is down below. And now on with the memes. Number 1, Johnny doesn't know why his LG washing machine is using 3.6 gigabytes of data each day. It looks like everything is spying on you these days or mining crypto, and yet everyone says that Bitcoin is going to zero. Most crypto yes, but Bitcoin no. It's also a good thing that we have 5G to transmit all that data. The question we really need to ask is, who would allow their appliances to access the internet? Password protect your Wi-Fi so this doesn't happen to you. Moving on, do you believe it's true that women lead happier lives than men do because most of them don't have wives? I don't believe that at all. Women live lives of loud and obnoxious desperation, even though they have husbands to dump their verbal diary and emotional baggage onto. The woman in this picture sure looks happy now, doesn't she? Women married to men feel less pain and suffering than women without a male partner, but they still feel that pain. Number 3, guys like this guy are destroying online dating. He sent this woman $2,500 just so she could call him sometimes. He could have taken that money and invested in the stock market instead of giving it to this mid. Maybe he should have paid her that much to have her tubes tied. That would have been the best investment possible. I'm also not fully convinced that she didn't actually send that money to herself to create social proof so that others would do the same. Up next, his mother issues a warning to other parents after she discovers that her young son was red-pilled. So I guess that women are publicly shaming their own sons now and willing to ruin their lives simply because they listen to my content. And a bonus is that she also gets attention from people who share her story in the media. Obviously this won't bring her son back to her side. How much you want to bet that she's a far-left single mama? Number 5, Sam Altman, the creator of ChatGPT and OpenAI, says that what's happening with AI adoption in India right now is amazing, and it's leading to an explosion of creativity outpacing the entire world. Yeah, outpacing the world of scamming, cheat posting, and harassing women globally tenfold. Imagine when you pick up the phone and there's an Indian scammer on the other line, but his voice is in perfect English, thanks to AI. It's the accent barrier that's keeping trillions of dollars away from Indian scammers. Moving on, a Bulgarian man stole 400 sex dolls to stop degeneracy in his country, and started a forest fire attempting to burn all of them. That's what we call a super simp. Now when is he going to go out there and steal 400 dildos and burn all of those down in the forest as well? He won't, because he's a white knight, and guys like him worship women, and according to them, women can do no wrong. What kind of sick person would do something like that to a hot doll like this? Number 7, this influencer hangs her head in shame after being arrested for having sex with her chihuahua. With all the stories like this recently, I'm starting to think that women shouldn't have dogs. By now you have to be a total moron not to see women with big male dogs as a red flag. Now they're molesting smaller breeds too. She filmed herself with a dog because somebody paid for it. She's only feeling bad though because she got caught. Up next, this woman felt reborn after her $11,000 nose job and even left her husband a month later. When women improve their sexual marketplace value, they do a back of the tampon calculation and figure out that they can monkey branch to a better man. Remember guys, the first thing a woman changes after improving herself or gaining more status is the man who chose to be with her when she had nothing. She left a man who loved her for her natural self, and it was probably the husband that paid for the nose job in the first place. Number 9, where do these people come from? This one says that under communism, you wouldn't have a boss who you'd have to obey or you'd starve. That's right. Under communism, you'd have to obey your boss or get shot or sent to the gulag. And you would still starve if you obeyed, because there wouldn't be enough food in store shelves. Remember that under communism, you line up for the food. But under capitalism, the food lines up for you in the grocery stores. Moving on, single women own millions more homes than single men in America, and the gap is growing. Gee, I wonder, could that have something to do with all those divorce court judges giving the ex-wives the houses? Not to mention all the widows out there that nag their husbands to death. Divorce rates started falling a while back, and once women could no longer take homes that way, they started getting government jobs with salaries that men subsidized through taxes, and then they could afford houses that way. One way or another, you'll be buying a woman a house, guys. Number 11, the Scully effect, is the idea that the character Dana Scully from X-Files led many women to pursue careers in STEM. The strong, independent female role models were actually pretty good in the 90s. Scully as a character was able to be great on her own, but maybe she wasn't the best role model for women because she was constantly obsessed with having kids, and her biological clock kept getting in the way of her work. Up next looks like Lena Dunham aged like a bloated corpse out in the hot sun. She looks like she's going to be incredible playing Chris Farley in his biopic one day. They say that by the time you turn 50, everyone has the face they deserve. Here's Lena recently, and she's not even 50 yet. What do you think she's going to look like when she reaches the big 5-0? She'll probably resemble a deep-fried Twinkie at the state fair. Number 13, if anyone wonders why Vice went bankrupt, then please let me refer you to this article about how eating your own poop will lead to a better future. Who was the target audience for this article? Those 2 girls in 1 cup from that video from Brazil. I wouldn't be surprised if Josh Evans was an Indian man. Looks like the globalists funding Vice back then would have us eat anything but actual food. You will no longer eat the buzz. You will eat the poop. Moving on, in a parallel dimensions, Rachel Zegler has been cancelled by Disney and is starting an OF page to cover her bills. So it looks like she's going to be rescued by a simp and not a prince. But she's playing a reverse Uno card, because you have to send money to her Lonely Fools page so that she stops posting for a change. If she did start an OF page, she'd have to shave her back or risk getting the wrath of Clint Eastwood. Number 15 is one I've posted before, but it's still hilarious. This man was caught spiking his female dates' drinks with Viagra to make sure they didn't get boners, because you never know these days. People will hate him for speaking the truth, but he still has a point. I could see this making a lot of sense in Thailand and the Philippines. Otherwise, the odds are pretty slim that she's got a Slim Jim in her panties. It was a smart idea and dumb idea at the same time. Up next, here's the difference between India and Bhutan along their border. Why does India have a massive public defecation problem and no place to put their garbage? I've been to 20 countries, and India is definitely not one I would ever go to. I recently read an article that India is about to power its space program with cow poop. You know, you got a problem when you defecate enough to send men to the moon. Proud to be number 1 in cow dung. Number 17, it's women like this that are turning you down on dating apps. She probably thinks she's a 10 because a chance slept with her once 10 years ago. She's more like a -10 to me. Looks to me like she needs to take a much longer and harder look in the mirror to understand her true value. All it takes is one wet wipe to wipe away all her makeup and humble her. Either that or take her swimming on the first date, unless of course she goes to. Moving on, what's wrong with this photo from 1976? I don't see any tattoos, obesity, face piercings, and purple hair. It's also crazy to think that these women are all now grandmas. I wonder what they must think of their woke obese grandkids. Also, there's no diversity in this picture. None of them have a schwing hiding in their shorts. If this picture was taken today, you wouldn't be able to see the car, because those girls would be so fat. Number 19, what the hell happened in the UK? Here's the president, vice president, and treasurer of the Oxford University Union. The home of modern Western democracy and the Magna Carta is cocked. It's also a union, so you know these are communist bastards. Then again, maybe they're just decolonizing the university. Eventually, when the whites leave the country, it'll turn into a third world hellhole, like where they came from. You can't change culture and DNA. Up next, also in the UK, we have a stabber in real life on the top, and a stabber on Netflix version on the bottom. The boy in the bottom looks like Elliot Page. So why is Netflix whitewashing history? I thought that was something that they were fighting against. I guess they're only against it when white people do something good. Otherwise, they need to spread anti-white propaganda. Maybe it's time to cancel your subscription and sail the high seas. I'm absolutely shocked. I can't believe that Netflix allows whites to appropriate black culture this way. Number 21, why do women fall for scams like this one? A woman was scammed out of £830,000 believing she was in a relationship with Brad Pitt. Most women are unattractive and live dull, boring lives, and somehow buy into the fantasy that a handsome, wealthy male celebrity is interested in them. They say that women's intuition is never wrong. Well, this proves that it is. Also, where was this taken? Auschwitz, perhaps? Moving on, looks like the new Naked Gun poster and trailer. This looks pathetic, and they have to ruin everything now, don't they? There's only one Frank Drebin, and it's not the dude from Taken. But what's really weird to me is Leslie Nielsen and Liam Neeson's names are so close together. When I heard that Seth Rogen was behind this, I just knew that it would be an absolute piece of trash. The one movie they don't seem to want to remake is Cherry 2000. I guess they don't want to be giving men any ideas about sex bots being better than real women. Number 23, here's what it looks like when you paid for an hour and you still got 57 minutes left. Looks like there's a manlet simp that can't hold his sperm for very long, and now he's gonna nerd out and force her to play GoldenEye with him. Screw that, I'd get her to do some housework in that getup. She looks pretty thin and she's still twice the size of him. It must have been his first time based on the smile on his face. Up next, welcome to Canada, where it's perfectly fine to block the streets praying to Mohammed, but it's not okay to block the streets when you're a trucker protesting your governments. Goodbye Canada and the West. It was nice knowing you. And many Canadians are still supporting Trudeau's party. Looks like the bouncy castle was just too damn much to handle for Justin Skippy Trudeau, so he had to freeze everybody's bank accounts. Number 25 and the last one, is in my imagination or is Amanda Bynes getting worse? It's a toss-up. Did wokeism or the pedos of Hollywood break her body and mind? Then again, maybe it's all the myths she's taking that were making her fat. The way she looks on the right, she could try out for the new live-action He-Man film. In the picture on the right, she looks like she's got that 1,000 Wong stare. She should definitely come out and tell everyone what Hollywood did to her. So that's it for another Memes of the Week. Please give this video a like to push it up in the algorithm, and so new viewers can find it. If you enjoy this series and want me to keep making it, then donate at the PayPal subscribe star links below. Anyways, enjoy the rest of your day, and cheers.
連続攻撃正解。
無駄な努力はやめたまえ。
火力支援開始。 こぼして甘えてそう変えるべき